Hello, my name's Lawrence. As many of you probably know, I just recently spent 10 days in jail. 3 days as a guest of the Los Angeles Police Department, and my remaining time at the Twin Towers Correctional Facility, which is operated by the Los Angeles County Sheriffs. In that time, I learned a great deal about fear. Fear is a natural, primal response innate to protect us from danger. It's something that we should be used to, because every day in life there are dangers. However, fear can be used as a tool to manipulate and control. In my time in incarceration, I was tormented, teased, denied the nutritional benefits that anyone would ever ask for, not to mention nearly having a tendon severed in my hand in an attempt to remove plastic handcuffs with a rusty wire bolt cutter. But fear is also something that we can use to our advantage. Now realize fear is almost necessary when you have 200 inmates stacked into a very small cell and only 2 or 3 guards to keep order and to maintain peace, so to speak. So they pit people against each other. They separate whites from blacks. They separate the Hispanics from those who are born in the United States and those who are born in Mexico and below. They put them in these groups and they force them to work as their own group. Give them rules so that the groups maintain a sense of respect and no conflict. When I was there, I was not allowed to trade with black people. I was not allowed to converse or make eye contact with people who were not white unless they made eye contact with me first. I was not allowed to trade food or give food to people of a different color. And other rules, like I wasn't allowed to spit in the sink. I had to spit in this toilet over here. I couldn't shower with somebody who was black. I had to flush continually while I was using the restroom. If I didn't do those things, I would have got a program. A program is where the collective group of white people would drag me off into the back and bing me up for not following the rules and not doing what I was told by the guards. Now you really understand the guards have a thing called a count that goes on twice a night. What is a count? Well, that's simple. You lie down, face down in your bunk, you stick out your little ID bracelet, because you really are nothing more than just your ID bracelet. You lose that, you're screwed. They call out your name, you yell at your number big and loud. Get you that wrong, you could be corrected. So fear is something that happens all the time. You make a request, they yell at you. On Sunday I said, can I please speak to somebody in my church? I am a religious person, I need religious observation. The person yelled at me, swore, and said, fuck no, you're not getting any legal or anything. Later when I requested vegan meals, they were denied to me. I requested dairy-free food. They finally gave it to me on 9 days of incarceration. So, fear. What does fear teach us? Well, in biology, you have the fight or flight response. Obviously, I'm not asking anybody here to fly away, but that is the natural response. Something happens to you, it's traumatizing, and you don't want to experience that again. Which is probably why a lot of people in the Occupy Los Angeles movement have kind of dwindled down to a smaller group. Because a lot of people are traumatized. A lot of people experienced a lot of the same insanity that I experienced. They probably know the sounds of a police officer's bootsteps, or the sound of a business end of a mag light flashlight banging on a piece of glass or banging on a door. Maybe they hear the sound of keys and it chills them a little bit. Maybe them, like me, have nightmares of trying to sleep while you're surrounded by police with batons. Or maybe you're having nightmares where you're crowded in your bed and there's inmates all around and you can't look at that person or talk to that person. Well, fight or flight, biological response. Do we fly or do we fight? I would never ask anybody to resort to violence, because violence is never the answer. That's been proven time and time again. Nonviolence is always the way, as Martin Luther King and Gandhi and countless other people have shown us. So how do we fight? We fight with our minds. We fight with our words. We fight with our gestures. We collaborate. We gain strength in numbers. But in doing so, we show that we are not afraid. We show that we are bigger than the little bootstraps that we were put on. We refuse to go back into our little boxes and consume and do what we are told by the television and the media. We allowed ourselves to think for ourselves. That was the beauty of this movement, was everyone was given a chance to illustrate and speak. And that is still afforded to us. We still have that right. Don't let your fear dictate your actions. Remember who you are. You are a free, thinking American. And that gives you incalculable power. More power than you would probably even realize in your lifetime. Realize that what you are doing is going beyond your own personal needs for comfort and protection, but serving a greater good. I hope you understand that after I was released, I was informed by my own legal representation to not go anywhere near City Hall. Do you know why I went to a General Assembly meeting and spoke this exact speech? Even though I was terrified when I saw police officers, that I actually even wore a hat to try to disguise myself so I wouldn't get hauled away, because fear was not dictating my actions. It was me caring more about other people that needed help. Sure, I own a home, I have a business, I can be fairly successful at times, give or take, but I've gotten to know some very interesting people, homeless people, who saw the occupation as a way out. I met people in prison, drug addicts, who were completely consumed by fear, and drug was their only escape. I met people who resorted to thievery, or even in spousal battery situations, where fear runs rampant. Do you understand how powerful fear can be and to control you? And do you understand that you can stand up and remove yourself from that cauldron of intense fear and liberate yourself? For me, I had meditation. I also had veganism. The fact that I did not consume any animal products when I was in jail was my only act of defiance that kept me sane. It was my way of saying, no, I refuse to give in to the tools you're putting me. You're going to throw food at me, I refuse to eat it. The other inmates thought I was rather heroic in that regard. They made something called the Lawrence Kitty. They take all their little side dishes and put it in a little tray for me. I didn't eat like a king, but I didn't starve. So, and meditation. Let me tell you about that. Good thing. Other inmates were entirely impressed by it because they saw this thin smile on my face. I actually taught quite a few of them about it. I'm even considering going back and teaching more. But to this point, I say to you, do not be afraid. And listen to your heart. It will guide you to great things.